Hey, my name is Ryan Daniel Moran. My website is freedomfastlane.com. I work with entrepreneurs to help them acquire assets, invest their cash flow, think bigger, and scale their businesses. Today, I want to talk to you about investing your profits. And before we talk about the actual ways that you can invest for long-term cash flow and wealth, we should address something really important, and that is that everything is an investment. The way you spend your time is an investment. The books you read are an investment. The food you put in your body is an investment. Your ROI when you're dead is really bad. So if you are not making your body, I say your body is probably your best investment because you can extend your life by 20 years by treating it well now. And how many of you know that when you leap out of bed and you're ready to crush the day and you're thinking clearly, you work better and you get a financial ROI on that energy? There's a financial ROI to the relationships that you have. How many of you have one relationship that has made you more money than anything else you've done before? An affiliate, a partner, a mentor who has given you that one tip, that one secret that has helped you scale and grow your business. The way that you think, the things that you put into your brain. Do you know we're all the product of what we put into our brain? Your thoughts come from who you hang out with and what you read. So when you're clicking clickbaity titles on Facebook, that's got an ROI. When you're getting sucked into negativity, when you're getting sucked into other people complaining about their life versus being around people who are smarter than you, who are wealthier than you, that know more strategies than you. You're reading books from people who have gone the path that you want to go. How many of you have got one book that cost you 19 bucks but created $500,000 in value for your life, either with your happiness, with your business? So everything that we do is an investment. Every decision that you make is an investment. When we're investing our capital, we want a few things. We want to legitimately pay less taxes. We want to increase our cash flow, and we want to grow long-term wealth. Each one of those three areas you could write a book about, but there are some strategies that help us bridge the gap. I focus on taking our business, which financially is your greatest point of investment. And that's the first piece, because in a business, we can write off a lot. We will grow long-term wealth because we're building an asset. And hopefully, we're able to increase our cash flow as well from the profits that we make in the short term. So if your business is not already booming and profitable, there's no reason to take money out of the business and to put it into other investments. So our investments come from the long-term profits we make in our business. But a lot of people make the mistake of pulling money out of their business, which is really their greatest investment. It's their greatest source of financial ROI. And then they put it into other places that don't have as good of an ROI. So if the purchases of inventory that you're making are creating a 10x return, and you take that money out to put it into the stock market, which is getting a 10% return, you're losing 90%. So our business is our best investment, and that's where we want to build up first. The next place I recommend is to put into some sort of a long-term, high-yield, but low-risk investment that spits out a lot of cash flow. Real estate is a good one because real estate helps us pay down taxes. It appreciates over time. It spits out cash flow. You also have an inflation return. So real estate is a great place here. If you don't want to be the guy who goes out and buys apartment buildings and houses, there's kind of a workaround to this. They're called real estate investment trusts, which are basically publicly traded real estate companies. There are also private real estate investment groups who will invest your money for you. And you can vet those obviously on your own time. But real estate has been a good one in my experience. Some bonds may fit criteria here, but what we're looking for is some sort of a secured asset that has a high yield. Some investment funds would also meet this criteria. And then the third piece is going to be a long-term dividend reinvestment strategy. So the third piece of the investment is to put some of our personal income. So I like to put my business profits, once I take them out, into the high yield, long-term asset class. And then what I pay myself from my personal salary, I'll take 10% of that and put it into a long-term dividend reinvestment. So if you calculate the numbers on long-term dividend reinvestment, which means if you're getting a 5% dividend, taking that 5% and buying more of the same stock and letting that accumulate over time, the numbers are almost scary. And since some of the returns are done on capital gains, you will reduce your taxes, you increase your cash flow due to the dividend, and it compounds over time because you're reinvesting it. So it increases your wealth at the same time. If you just Google some dividend stocks that have a long history of raising their dividend, so I'll Google dividends with 10 years of reinvestment and increasing return. You can figure out how to punch that one into Google. But there are lists compiled everywhere of blogs who have said, these are the 100 stocks who have raised their dividend every year for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Dividend.com does this regularly and is always updating it. So my strategy is 3 steps. 1, maximize your business. Once you are profiting from that and you have profits at the end of the quarter or at the end of the year, I will take that and I will reinvest what's necessary into the business. And then what's left over, I will put into long-term secured assets that have a high yield, real estate, bonds, some investment funds. And then my personal income, I'll take 10% and put into long-term dividend reinvestment, which means that it's going to grow over time to boost my wealth. It increases my cash flow due to the dividend. And since it's capital gains, I'm going to pay less taxes as well. So these strategies hit all 3 of those important criteria. And that's how I invest. And I recommend my entrepreneurial students start to build up long-term cash flow and wealth. My name is Ryan Daniel Moran. I talk about this more on my podcast, which is called Freedom Fastlane. You can access that on iTunes or at freedomfastlane.com. Thanks for watching.